Hi, I'm Miriam. I'm a physiotherapist here at Fit for Life Physiotherapy. I just wanted to take you through a short sequence of exercises that is helpful for your lower back. So to begin, come and lie down on your back and draw one knee in towards your chest and let the other leg reach out long on the floor or on your bed, wherever you happen to be. Make sure that your shoulders are relaxed, and you might need to have a pillow under your head if you find that when you're in this position your chin's poking up. Then put a pillow under your head so that you can keep your chin down and your eyes looking straight up. You're going to pause here and hold this position for perhaps 30 seconds, or maybe you just count your breaths. And you're going to want to do that on both sides. In this position, we start to move at the hips, even opening here in the front of your left hip. So bringing that leg down, bring the other leg back up, and straighten the right leg out. And again, just pause here for a few breaths. And then bringing both feet to the ground. And you can also bring both knees into the chest. Whether you want to lead with one and then the other, and just hug your knees in. The first one gets to be a little bit more of stretch or mobility for the hips, whereas this we're getting a little bit more movement through the lower back. And you're just going to pause here and hold this position for perhaps 30 seconds or so. And then let your feet come down to the ground and bring your arms out wide into a T position. Keep your feet and your knees together, and then let your knees fall over towards your right side. As you come over to the side, your hips will lift up off the ground. You might even feel a little bit of a stretch through your chest. And then come back up through the center, and then drop them down to the other side. What you may want to do is just to move back and forth initially, just finding a little bit of movement and loosening things up. Particularly if it's first thing in the morning, you might find that this movement feels a little stiffer, and the movement is helpful. But then you definitely want to then pause and hold that stretch for a period of time to stretch out through your side body, through the side of the hips, and through the lower back. Again, you may hold it for, say, 5 slow breaths or 30 seconds, and then repeat that onto the other side. When your knees are dropped down to the side, you may want to let your head turn the opposite direction. And then come back up to the center. And then from here, you're going to transition over onto your stomach. So rolling over onto your side, and then continue to roll right onto your stomach. Let your head rest on your hands. And if you find that this position is uncomfortable to be here without a pillow under your hips, you can place a pillow here, and that might make it a little bit more comfortable. And you may want to pause here first to just kind of get accustomed to being in this position on your stomach. And then from here, just move up onto your elbows so that your elbows are underneath the shoulders, and push into your hands to lift up. So you don't want to let your head hang, and you're not trying to strain your head to look up as high as you can. Keep your chin tucked in so that it's easy on your neck. Keep the tops of your feet on the ground, and also just making sure that you're not sagging down through the front of the shoulders, but really push through the arms here. So this takes our back into a nice extension, which is a position that we don't always get into. So if this feels like it's enough for you, you can just stay here, and whether you move in and out, whether you come down and take a rest here for a moment and then come back up, and you might want to repeat that a few times. You can also take it into a full, what I call a sloppy push-up, or in yoga would be called a cobra, that you're coming down onto your tummy again. Bring your hands underneath the shoulders, draw your shoulder blades back, and push into your hands. And maybe you're only able to come this far, just sort of around the base of your rib cage, and come down. Or maybe you're able to straighten your arms all the way up, getting that full extension through the lower back. So whatever range feels comfortable for you, whether it's here or here, you may want to repeat that a few times. This isn't a movement that you need to hold. This is more about movement of the joints. So let's try one more. And then come back down to the ground. And then from here, we're going to transition up onto your hands and knees. And bring your knees wide apart. And bring your buttocks back by your heels. And reach your arms forward. Coming into a child's pose. If you find that this is uncomfortable for you, you can also place a pillow or a cushion or a rolled blanket behind your knees here, and that will help to make that bend of your knees a little bit more comfortable. So coming into this position here, and again, you're going to want to hold this position for maybe 5 slow breaths or a count of 30 seconds. Whatever feels comfortable, making sure that you're breathing and not holding your breath. You want to keep everything relaxed. You can add a bit of a variation to this to do a bit of a side bend, so that if you walk your hands over towards one side of your mat, so that you get a little bit of a stretch through the side body here. And again, you're going to hold this position for maybe 5 slow breaths or 30 seconds. Walk your hands back to the center and then over to the other side. And then back to the center and walk yourself back up onto your knees. And the last one we'll do is a little bit of a lunge stretch. So you're going to come up onto your knees and bring one foot forward. Keep your hips square and lunge forward so that you're feeling a stretch through the front of that left hip. You can, if you want, reach your arms up and getting a little bit more of a stretch, but if it's easier on the shoulders to keep them down, then please do. If it's uncomfortable under your knee, fold the mat, or you can place a small cushion underneath the knees as well. And again, in this position, you're going to want to hold this for 30 seconds or 5 slow breaths. And then come back out and transition to the other side. So bringing the opposite foot forward, hips are square, lunge forward. And again, if that's uncomfortable under your knees, then place a cushion or a folded blanket there. Again, you can reach the arms up, which gives you a little bit more of a stretch here. But again, if that's uncomfortable on the shoulders, then keep the hands down on your knees. So all of those movements put together takes your spine through all different ranges of motion, from some flexion, some rotation, some extension, some side flexion, and we also target the hip flexors, which is a muscle group that's really important to stretch out for your lower back. It's an area that's often tight from the amount of sitting and bending that we do throughout the day. If you found that there was any discomfort in any of these poses, please talk to your physiotherapist about how you might modify that